Bayern surprisingly eliminated Arsenal from the Champions League and still have every chance of reaching the final after a strong 2-2 against Real Madrid. You're wondering why a video like this is coming out now? It would have been much more appropriate a few weeks ago. It's quite simple. Nothing has changed for the better at Bayern in recent weeks. On the contrary, things have got much worse. Bayern is a mess. It was already announced back in February that Tuchel and Bayern would go their separate ways in the summer. Since then, rumors have been circulating about who will be Bayern's new head coach. But so far, nobody has been found. Why? Quite simple. Nobody wants to join FC Bayern. Who wants to put up with that? 5 people from the board you have to convince, which means not having a full support from the start. A squad that has long needed a change, and if you don't win the triple of Bundesliga, Cup and Champions League, then it's not a good season. All the rejections of the coach are still in the public spotlight, and Uli Hoeneß was no help either with his comment a week before the Champions League game against Real Madrid that Tuchel is not developing the players. That's not something you should say about a coach as a club manager. Especially not when he's already developed talented players like Dembele, Diaby, Nkunku and now Pavlovic at Bayern and turned them into stars. The whole thing is just damn embarrassing. So, before we get to the subject of Tuchel, don't forget to like the video and subscribe our channel if you don't want to miss our content in the future. To be fair, the sacking was still understandable in February. With 3 defeats in a row, the DFB Cup out and the almost certain loss of the league title after 11 years. But what the last few years have clearly shown that it's not only the fault of the coach. Since winning the Champions League in 2020, many things have gone wrong at the club. And now Bayern has a problem, because the team is suddenly unbeaten for 6 games and is in the Champions League semifinals, but the coach will leave in the summer. A few Bayern fans have even started a petition for the hated Tuchel to stay. And this brings us to the point of the video. Tuchel is not to blame for many things. The squad has needed a change for a long time, but even Julian Nagelsmann couldn't assert himself to make a change. Tuchel also wanted to get rid of players like Goretzka and Kimmich in the summer and sign a deep 6. However, none of this was realized. The problem is primarily the board of directors. Too many people have too much to say. For example, they still haven't managed to get Uli Hoeneß to leave the club, even though he's been causing trouble for years now. In addition, many mistakes have been made in the past, and it seems if no clear plan has been followed for years. Another reason would be the many injuries and poor performances. The new centre-back Kim isn't playing well. Upamecano keep making horrible mistakes. Goretzka played a disastrous season until February. Kimmich didn't play well either as a defensive midfielder. Coman and Gnabry were injured for a long time. A good striker alone is not enough for the league title. Speaking of the Bundesliga, we have to mention that no Bayern in the last 10 years would have been champions if they had those motherfuckers from Leverkusen in the league. A lot of people said that these are all excuses and Bayern has to become champions even with these problems. And that's just a big bullshit. Guys, I can't remember the last time so many good teams played in the Bundesliga. Apart from Leverkusen, there's also Stuttgart and Leipzig with very strong teams. They can all count themselves lucky that Dortmund don't play in the league like they do in the Champions League, and that Sancho and Madsen only joined Dortmund in the winter, because otherwise the table would look completely different again. The last question you might have asked yourself is, why is Bayern suddenly playing better again? And there is a simple answer to that. Tuchel got his way and put Kimmich in the right back position, leaving space in the midfield for another type of player like Leimer or Pavlovic. And suddenly, Goretzka and Kimmich are playing better and Bayern are winning again. Secondly, the players Coman and Gnabry came back from injuries, which gave a lot more options in the attacking play, and he has finally found a centre-back duo with De Ligt and Dyer. And the most important thing is time. Every coach needs time to introduce his tactics to the team, and it seems that Tuchel has found them, especially in the important games. Of course, you can't excuse the defeat against Saarbrücken or the 5-1 against Frankfurt with these arguments. Of course, it was sometimes the wrong tactic, but Tuchel is a world-class coach. We have the feeling that people forget that from time to time in Munich. But what is your opinion on this topic? Write it in the comments, and if you want to improve your football skills and support us, then check out the video description. Thanks for watching guys, and see you.